Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me for a 60-minute restorative yoga class. This class is all about penciling in some time just to relax and to breathe and to gently stretch. We will stay on the floor the whole time. You want a yoga mat or a carpeted area or both. And then a couple, you don't need any fancy like yoga props, but a couple of household items like maybe a blanket and a couple different size pillows. So I've pillows of all shapes and sizes behind me. You are welcome to grab those now if you don't have them, but we won't use them for a little bit anyways. So the format of the class is we will do a quick breathing exercise. We're going to do some gentle motion just to get some movement into our body, and then we'll start to transition into longer held, more restorative classes that use the props. So you're going to find yourself in a comfortable seated position. You can sit crisscross applesauce or in Savasana with one foot in front of the other. You can take a moment here and just kind of rock back and forth, side to side, and then sit up nice and tall. Lift your chest, drop your shoulders, take an inhale through your nose. And if you'd like, open your mouth and kind of sigh out the day, just letting your day go. In general, in yoga, we breathe in and out through the nose because it calms the central nervous system. Every once in a while, at the beginning or end of a practice, it can be just nice to kind of take an inhale and then just let the day go, sigh it all out. Okay. So we'll start with a very simple breathing exercise called even breathing. And the idea is you will inhale and exhale for equal parts of time. So we'll start with inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4, and we'll work our way up to a 6 count. Even breathing is a really simple way to calm the central nervous system. It's actually been shown to lower your blood pressure. So if you tend to have high blood pressure or tend to get a little like hot-headed in certain situations, this is a breathing technique that I use. Even if I'm just in conversation with someone who's kind of annoying me, I will silently do the breathing, even breathing technique, and they have no idea what I'm doing, but it helps to kind of slow down the heart and calm down the body. So sitting up tall, drop your shoulders, relax your face. You can close your eyes, seal your lips, relax your jaw, and begin. Inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, counting in your mind. And exhale for 4, keep the jaw and shoulders relaxed. This time, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for a count of 5 in your head. Exhale for 5. Sometimes counting gives your mind something to focus on. Inhale for 5. You're learning to breathe a little slower and longer. Exhale for 5. Match the exhale to the inhale. This time, inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 6. Breathe in for 6. Breathe out for 6. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale. Last even breath, choose whatever count you want. It could be 2, it could be 20. And whenever you're ready, just match the exhale. As you're ready, return your breath to normal, in and out through your nose. If your eyes were closed, you can slowly open your eyes, looking forward. Maybe you roll your shoulders forward a few times, backward a few times. We'll get class started with some slow flow, gentle movements through the body before we hop into some longer held postures that utilize props. So sitting up nice and tall, take an inhale breath, sweep your arms overhead. Palms together, exhale, pull your hands through heart center like you're saying a little prayer, just getting some motion into the body. 2 more times, inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, working the shoulders, lengthening through the side body. Exhale through your nose, try to synchronize your breath with your body movement so you exhale at the same rate that your hands come down. Last one, inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, pull your hands through heart center. Good, and place your hands on either sides of your hips. We're going to move the neck. Take an inhale, stretch the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly tilt your right ear towards right shoulder, stretching the left side neck. And it's worth noting that I'm not mirroring you, so it might look like I'm moving my head to the left, when in fact I'm moving my head to the right. You are welcome to follow my words or my body movements throughout class. Just know that in general, we will do the right side of postures first, unless I forget, which sometimes happens. Left and rights are not my strong suit as a yoga teacher. I am okay with that. I've accepted that at this point in my journey. As you're ready, slowly roll your head down, chin to chest. Let your head hang heavy. Notice if you start to tilt forward or hunch your shoulders, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back and down. So it's just the neck spine moving at the end of class. Relax your jaw as you look down the center line of your body. Good, as you're ready, roll your left ear towards left shoulder, stretching the right side neck. And it's worth noting that this posture or this side might feel different from the other side, and that's okay. We're not symmetrical, and the goal of yoga is not symmetry, right? The goal of yoga is self-realization. Along the way, byproducts of your practice might be getting a little stronger, a little bit more loose, maybe a little bit more even, but that is a byproduct, not the goal, right? The goal is just to know yourself better. Good. Slowly roll your head down, chin to chest. Again, let your head hang heavy, jaw relaxed. And as you're ready, roll your head back up, look straight ahead, lift your nose, lift your chin, looking up and back. Try not to lean back. It's just the cervical spine, neck spine that drops back. Good, slowly roll your head back up to center, look straight ahead, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your right shoulder and twist. So just the neck is moving, keep your shoulders and hips pointing forward. We will move the rest of the spine after this, but we just start by warming up the neck where a lot of us tend to carry tension. Good, slowly unwind, look straight ahead, take your time. And then stretch up and look to the other side. Look over your left shoulder, look for the wall behind you, sit up nice and tall. Evenly distribute your body weight on both sit bones. Again, you can use your fingertips on the floor on either sides of your hips to help you sit up tall, staying rooted into the floor. Good, and slowly, carefully come back to center. Keep your left leg bent, kick your right leg out. You can have your leg as wide out as you want. The more you bring the leg out, the more you'll feel an inner thigh stretch. Take your right hand outside of your right thigh and reach your left arm long overhead. Think about lengthening through the left arm and then drop the left shoulder down. Just getting a nice left side body stretch, gentle right side body stretch, and a little bit of a stretch to the inner thigh as well as you wake up your spine. Breathe. Good. Slowly come up. Take your left hand outside of left thigh, kick your left leg out, bend your right leg in, and this time reach your right arm overhead. Drop the shoulder, lengthen the arm, look straight ahead. Good. Slowly come up, take your right hand down to the floor, keep your left leg out. This time kick your right leg out, stick your butt out a little bit, and waddle. Put your hands on the floor and fold forward. Rather than rounding your spine, think about arching your spine. The more you fold forward, the more you will feel the inner thigh stretch. And there are some styles of yoga that are really about the physical body, about getting a good stretch or toning the body or balancing. Restorative yoga, I think, is really more about the like emotional, psychological, spiritual benefits to yoga, right? It's not about getting the deepest stretch and postures, it's just about connecting to your breath, connecting to your body, moving your body around a little bit in a world where we tend to be still. But again, you're not looking for like the deepest inner thigh stretch you've ever felt in your life. Okay, good. Slowly walk your hands back in. This time, bring your legs together. So we're gonna get a back of the leg stretch. Take an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Again, stick your butt out, arch your spine rather than dropping your head. You want to keep a nice flat back. You can flex your toes back towards your face just a little bit to activate the legs, but you don't need, like, again, the deepest flex of all time. Shoulders back, chest forward, breathe. Good, and slowly walk yourself back in. Keep your right leg kicked out, bend your left leg so your left foot is on the floor. Take your right hand behind you, reach your left arm up, place your left elbow on inside of inner left thigh, bend your arm. We're gonna do an outer spine twist. This is one of the safer spine twists if you are pregnant, so you're welcome to join in if you'd like. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your right shoulder twist. If you're in your first trimester, maybe just look over the right shoulder. So it's really the neck and shoulders that are getting the twist. Otherwise, you can actively push your left elbow into your left knee and look back. Breathe. External twists rather than internal twists tend to be better if you are pregnant. But again, spine twists are something to be careful of if you are carrying a fetus. Good. Slowly unwind, looking straight ahead. Take your left hand back to the floor, kick your left leg out, bend your right leg up, foot on the floor, reach your right arm up, bend right elbow, take right elbow to inner right knee, bend the arm, and look over left shoulder. Breathe. So the spine moves in 6 different directions, right, left, backward, forward, twisting to each side. We will do all of those in class today multiple times, which is pretty great. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest, stretch up, and then look back, twist. Good. Slowly, carefully unwind. We're going to find our way into a tabletop position. So placing your hands on the floor, take a moment here. You want wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, so your back makes a tabletop. That's why it's called tabletop position. Take a moment here, press your knuckles into the floor. Really feel your hands grounded into the floor. Part of our yoga practice is connecting not just to our breath, but to our body really moving in time and space, especially in an era where we're like so often on our phones, on the internet, but not in an embodied way, right? This is an opportunity to really notice your surroundings, including your knuckles pressing into the floor. We're gonna do some cat-cows here. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose, round your spine like an angry cat meow. If you're pregnant, let your abdomen relax. Otherwise, pull your abdomen in. Press your hips forward, push the floor away from you, slide shoulder blades, scapula apart. On your next inhale, we're going to move into our cow pose. Let your abdomen hang down, stick your butt up, lift your shoulders, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, look up and back. On your next exhale, cat pose, meow. So you're rounding the spine, compressing the front of the body, slide shoulder blades, scapula apart. Keep the shoulders out of your ears. Inhale into your cow pose. Now you're opening the front of the body, compressing the spine, squeezing shoulder blades, scapula together. Once again, keep the shoulders out of the ears as you look up and back. And when you're ready, going back into your cat pose, last round here. Drop your head, push the floor away from you. Last one, cow pose, make it feel good, right? Just getting some motion in the body. When you're ready, come back into a neutral position. We're going to thread the needle, and I will show you an alternative if thread the needle does not feel right for you. Keep your left hand firmly on the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, take your right arm through left arm, right shoulder to the floor, right ear on the floor. You can keep your hand on the floor next to you for balance, or reach your left arm up to the sky and then drape your hand behind you, maybe catch your waistband or even right thigh with left hand. This is a great chest and shoulder opener and deltoid stretch. However, it can be a little bit too much pressure on the upper body, right? If thread the needle does not feel right for you, you're going to come out of it. Sit back onto your heels so you get a toe and ankle stretch. Take your right arm out to the right, swipe your arm across your side body, bend your left arm up, forearm to forearm, and pull back. Now you get the same deltoid stretch without putting weight on the upper body. Breathe. Okay, if you are in thread the needle and your left hand is straight behind you for the bind, you're going to start by lifting your left hand up to the ceiling again, and then firmly place your left hand onto the floor beside your head, push down. Everybody together, unthread the needle, inhale, reach your right arm up, look up. Exhale, place your right hand down. Other side, inhale, reach your left arm up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle, take left arm through right arm. You can keep your right hand on the floor close to you for balance, or reach your right arm up, straight behind you. Again, maybe catch your waistband or eventually left thigh with right hand. And maybe on the other side, thread the needle worked for you, but on this side, no way, right? Again, you can come out of the posture, sit back on your heel so you get a toe and ankle stretch. Take your left arm out to the left, swipe your arm across your side body, bend your right arm up, forearm to forearm, pull back. Bring the right shoulder forward, left shoulder down, breathe through your nose. If you are in thread the needle and you have your right hand draped behind you for a bind, reach your right arm up, place your right hand on the floor close to your head, press down, feel that stability. Everybody together, unthread the needle, inhale, reach your left arm up, stretch up. Exhale, place your left hand down on the floor, back into your tabletop. We're going to transition into our first longer held posture, a wide-legged child's pose. So you're going to start by opening your knees, keep your feet together. There's going to be lots of options for props here. I'll show you without props, and then I'll show you how pillows or blankets might come into play. As you're ready, wide-legged child's pose, you're going to sink your hips down towards your heels and reach your arms forward, forehead to floor. So for a lot of folks, the hips don't come down towards the heels, right? That's really normal. If your hips are so high that it does not feel pleasant, you can place as many pillows or blankets as you'd like in between your calves and your hamstrings, so you have extra support there. You are also welcome to place blankets or pillows underneath your chest. If you have tight toes or ankles, you can roll up your yoga mat or place a small blanket or pillow underneath your toes or ankles so there's less pressure there. And if having your arms forward does not feel good for your shoulders, you can also take your arms down, palms facing the ceiling. So again, there's lots of opportunities here to use pillows or blankets, or not, right? But in restorative yoga, we're just making this practice our own, going to a place that feels good. We're going to hold here for 3 minutes.
As you inhale and exhale through your nose, feel the backs of your ribs expand and contract. And if you'd like a deeper stretch through the spine, you can really take this opportunity to open the ribs as you inhale and close the ribs as you exhale. In the wide-legged child's pose, we're stretching the inner thighs, we're opening through the hips, the lower, middle, and upper back, right? And you're also, if the arms are forward, working through the shoulders as well. So for the rest of class, we're going to do kind of like longer holds of postures. Restorative yoga and yin yoga often get grouped together. In yin yoga, I would talk a lot about how we're working into connective tissue, right? Working into tendons, ligaments, fascia, joints. In yin yoga, same thing, you hold postures for long periods of time. But yin is often, it's about, of course, there's, emotional, psychological, spiritual benefits to it, but it really is about like stretching out the muscles, tendons, ligaments, joints in the body. Versus restorative yoga really is just about penciling in some time for yourself to breathe and relax. So if the stretch becomes too much in any way, remember that you can take a break. You can grab a pillow or a blanket or remove one, right? You can do something else and then just find your way back into stillness. We'll hold here for one more minute. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to gently look forward. Walk your hands in so that your hands are close to your shoulders. Slowly press yourself up. There is no rush. Take your time. You're going to remove any props that you might have been using, and then make your way onto your back for a Savasana. Okay. Arms and legs down. You can open your arms and legs as much or as little as you'd like. And for many folks, lying on your back with your legs straight doesn't feel good to the lower back. So a couple options whenever we're in our Savasana. You are welcome to bend your legs so that your feet are on the floor and your knees rest together. You can also place a pillow or blanket under your lower back, and that will also take pressure off of the lumbar spine. So don't be afraid to play around with your rest postures as well as your more active postures. Let your head be heavy on the floor. Relax through your feet and your hands. You can inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Okay, as you're ready, you're going to bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side. Take your time pressing yourself up. There's no rush. Good. And from here, we are going to grab some pillows of different sizes. I'm going to show you what we're doing. And as I'm showing you, you can decide how many pillows you want. The idea is we're going to make an incline for our back to rest against. So you want to build up some pillows.
A lot of people will do this with like fancy yoga bolsters, but I believe that you don't need to have like fancy yoga props to practice yoga. Eventually you're gonna we'll try this and then we'll probably experiment with adding or removing pillows, right? You're gonna sit facing away from your stack incline of pillows. And as you're ready, you're gonna rest back. And from here, we're gonna get a hip opener. So knees and feet together, can open your knees out to the side. The closer you bring your heels towards your groin, the more you'll feel the inner thigh stretch. The further you bring the legs away, the more gentle that hip opener will be. You are also welcome to place blankets or pillows underneath your knees so that they have a little bit more support. And if you'd like, you can even place a blanket over your body. And we're going to hold here for 5 minutes. So again, this is not about getting the deepest stretch of all time to your body. This is about relaxing and restoring. Sometimes people call restorative yoga napping yoga. And if you ever want to take a nap, you are welcome to do so. Another thing that I really like about restorative yoga is that it gives us an opportunity to like really be held and to kind of like trust in something, even if what we're trusting in is just, a couple of household pillows and a blankets. In American culture, but gosh, especially during COVID, right? Self-sufficiency, relying on yourself, that's been like a big part of the last year and a half. And restorative yoga is a nice opportunity, I think, just to like place our trust. It doesn't have to be in another person, but even just in like inanimate objects, right? If you tend to have trouble or it's hard for you to like ask for help or to lean on another person, maybe simply start by like asking your yoga mat for help or leaning on some pillows, right? It sounds kind of silly, but it's a nice place to start. So then you can close your eyes. Notice where you might still be holding on to tension in your body. Let that go. We're just going to enjoy our own company here for another 3.5 minutes. You notice your mind really starting to wander, right? That's okay. Me too. Maybe just gently return to your breath. See if you can relax another part of your body. It's natural for the mind to wander, especially if we don't have a lot of stillness in our life, right? There's a lot to kind of download. If you notice that you've really followed your thoughts down a rabbit hole, you're getting a little distracted or fidgety, and just compassionately return yourself back onto your yoga mat, back into your body. So you can inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Your eyes are closed. You can slowly open your eyes. Place your hands on either sides of your hips. Gently press yourself up. You are welcome to remove blankets or pillows off to the side. And once again, lie down in your Savasana. So in that posture, our heart was a little bit higher than our hips, not in like a vertical position, right? But a little bit higher. Stretched out the back gently by using those pillows underneath our back. We open through the hips and knees. And now as we return our head back down to the floor, right, that blood that was probably pooling in the abdomen and hips will come back towards the head, back towards the toes. Because of that, you might notice like a heaviness in a body or even a dizziness or a shifting in sensation. Even just like a gentle incline in the body in an intentional way, coming out of that, right? You can feel that. And that's why Savasana in restorative yoga is often referred to as a rebound. The idea is we're rebounding our body after holding a long posture. For the next posture, you will want a few pillows nearby, not as much as the next one. I'm going to give you two options. So bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side. Option one is to have your right arm in front of you and your left arm long overhead, maybe with one pillow under your head and one in between your knees, thighs, so that your hips are stacking, but they're not coming in any way. This is option one. Option two is to place another blanket under your torso so that you get more of a stretch to the side body. And that will look something like this. You again want at least one pillow underneath your head so that your head's not hanging all the way off. Don't be afraid to play around here with pillow ratio and what's going on. There we go. That sounds right. Okay. So especially if you have a pillow underneath your side torso, you'll stretch more of one side body and gently compress the other side body. If you have your arm overhead, you'll also feel a nice opening to the shoulder and hip. But if this is too much, you can always keep your hand down by your side or do so at the halfway point. We are going to hold here for 5 minutes. Checking time. Okay, great. Again, doesn't need to be the deepest stretch of all time, right? Just a gentle movement to the torso. Then you're squaring off the hips. If you're a side sleeper, maybe this feels familiar. About a minute in, if what you're doing does not feel good, remember that you can add or remove pillows here. And then you just make your way back into stillness and breath.
halfway point, you are welcome to stay here. If your arm is overhead and this feels like a little too much, you can have your arm down by your side. If you'd like, we can also turn this into a spine twist where you put your left hand on the floor close to your face, gently lift up, slide your right hand out, and start to turn your abdomen down towards the floor. I do not recommend this if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, because you will put pressure on your abdomen and breasts as well. Okay. If you would like, turning your torso down towards the floor, you can bend your elbows out to the side and even look down, move your head on the floor, or look to one side. This is a gentle spine twist, gentle abdominal wall twist, good for digestion. And again, we're using pillows as props here. So there's plenty of side stretches, torso compression, spine twists in the world of yoga that involve, standing or balancing or kneeling, but in restorative yoga, right, we're really literally and figuratively leaning on our props to help hold us up. And one of the advantages to this is, let's say, there's a back bend in 26 and 2 yoga called Camel Pose. You're kneeling, you drop back. It can be kind of scary to do at first. And for that reason, sometimes people don't go back very far, right? Because it can feel unsupported. Versus when we do a back bend later on in this class, right, with pillows, with blankets, there's, you know that you're not going to fall anywhere, right? Same thing with a spine twist or a side body twist. You're literally resting on the floor, resting on your pillows. So there's no need to hold tension in the body. See if you can relax just a little bit more in this last minute of the posture. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Gently lift your head, look forward. Place your hands on either sides of your shoulders and slowly press yourself up. And remove the blankets or pillows from under you, or keep one right for your lower back or your head. Like a pillow fort's over here, and then turn onto your back. At the beginning of class, my pillows are always so neatly stacked, and like halfway through, it's just mounds of pillows and blankets strewn everywhere. It's part of the fun. Lie on your back into your Savasana. Again, in that posture, right, when we stretched one side of the body, gently compressed one side of the body, we stacked the hips and knees while also keeping them a little bit separate so that the hips didn't invert at all. We also work through the shoulders, right? If you're doing the spine twist, there's a twist to both the spine and the abdominal wall, a gentle one, right? That's still there. So now we're in our rebound pose, our Savasana corpse pose, just letting everything kind of even out. So both sides of the body reset. Okay, bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side, maybe the side that you haven't rolled off to yet. Take your time pressing yourself up. And we will do the other side of that posture. So seated forward, and keep in mind this side might feel different, right? You might need more or less pillows. So again, you can be on your side with bottom arm out forward, right arm on top, with a pillow underneath your knees.
Or you can place as many pillows as you see fit, probably not a lot, right? But a pillow underneath your left side torso and then a smaller pillow for your head. The idea being that you do not want your head to hang completely off. And again, this side you might need different size pillows, no pillows, more pillows, whatever it is. So don't be afraid to play around for a little bit. And when you think you've got a winning combination, right? We're gonna hold here for 5 minutes. Already over a minute in, if something does not feel right for your body, remember that you can add or remove props. You can, switch up maybe not having your arm overhead or something like that. Just kind of trusting your intuition here. And then make your way back into your stillness and breath. Notice where you might be holding on to tension in the body. See if you can just let your body get a little bit heavier into the floor, into the pillows. Okay, halfway through, you can stay here. You can switch up what you're doing with your over or underarm, or if you'd like to turn it into a spine and abdominal wall twist, place your right hand on the floor outside of your head. Unthread your needle, so to speak. Start to turn your chest and abdomen down towards the floor. And you can have the arms out to the side. You can have your head on your pillow, or you can look to one side. I see so many people do this posture like with their head on the pillow, but like something about the proportion of like my forehead to my nose to my chin, like looking down into a pillow does not feel good. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. You are again welcome to look to one side or look down, depending on what feels right for you. And then we'll just hold and breathe.
Take an inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Gently lift your head to look forward. Place your hands on either sides of your shoulders. Press yourself up. You're going to remove all or some pillows. Make your way onto your back. Let the floor hold you up. I notice sometimes when I'm in postures with pillows that it doesn't necessarily feel like much, but then when I remove them and go back to the floor, I almost feel a little topsy-turvy. Right? You notice that even in gentle postures, right? Stuff is stretching. Certain parts of the body get more blood than others. So then we just return to our breath. Return to the floor as you breathe in and out through the nose. Okay, once again, bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side. Make your way into a seated position. Earlier in class, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to take a few pillows underneath our back and then a pillow underneath our head. So the idea here is that you're going to get a back bend, a heart opener. You do not want your head to hang all the way off. You definitely want at least one pillow under your head. And then for under the lower back, you can stack as many or as few pillows as you want. Take your time to find kind of the combination that feels right for you. And again, this is an opportunity if you would like to place a blanket over your body, go for it. You can have your legs long. You can also bend your knees so that your feet are on the floor. We have done quite a few hip and inner thigh stretches, but you know, if you want to open your knees again, right, to go back into that figure four, you're welcome to do so. But we have done a few of those, right? So I'm personally going to keep my legs long, but this is very much a build your own adventure class. So you do what feels right for your body. You can have your arms out to the side in a big expansive gesture, or even cactus like goalposts, or just stand by your side, right? Lots of options. We're gonna hold here for 4 minutes. So once you've found your pillow blanket ratio combo, go ahead, find some stillness. Again, I mentioned earlier camel pose, right? There's lots of back bends where you're standing or kneeling or even balancing. And those are fun, but also it can be a little bit scary, right? Because you feel a little unstable sometimes. Versus here on your back, on the floor with pillows, right? You can really give into the back bend. And spinal compression is really healing to the spine. In this posture, we're opening, stretching the front of the body gently. We're opening through the shoulders and we're gently compressing the spine, particularly in a culture where we tend to hunch forward a lot. Back bends are really important for back health. They can feel a little scary at first, right? But especially this version of a back bend, right? You know that you're not going anywhere. You can really just sink into your mat, sink into your pillows or blankets. Allow the floor to hold you up. And doesn't need to be the deepest back bend of all time, just some gentle, even healing compression through the spine. Holding here for 2 more minutes. Observe where you might be holding some tension in your body. See if you can just give your body permission to relax a little bit more. Slow inhale through your nose. This time, if you'd like, open your mouth and sigh it out. There's lots of ways to come out of this back bend. You could like put your elbows on the floor and push off or roll off to one side. My preferred method is to bend your legs if they're not already, so your feet are on the floor. Keep the pillow underneath your head. Press your feet into the floor, squeeze your butt, lift your hips, and remove the pillow from your middle lower back. And from here, this is our final Savasana. You are welcome to keep the pillow under your head. You are welcome to have your legs flat on the floor or bent. You can also press yourself up and place some pillows and blankets underneath your knees or your feet. And you could even make that incline like we did earlier, so the feet are really elevated. Once again, you can place a blanket over your body. And this is our final Savasana. We have a few minutes here just to relax and enjoy. Make this as fun and bougie as you want. Especially coming from 26 into yoga, which is a very austere yoga practice. Kind of have your yoga mat and that's it. Sometimes I can feel silly, like putting a pillow under my head, like that's so frivolous, but restorative yoga reminds me that like your yoga practice is your own. You can use as many props as you want, right? You can put pillows anywhere you want, blankets anywhere you want, light some candles, listen to Enya, right? Whatever it is, this is your time for yourself, and you made time for yourself today. And there's a lot of people who want to do that and like life gets in the way, right? And that's okay. We've all been there. But you got onto your yoga mat today. Good for you. Nobody can take that accomplishment away from you. Often the hardest part is just getting here. And you did that, and you breathed, and you moved, you relaxed, maybe even restored. Good for you. Take an inhale to your nose. Feel your chest rise. Exhale to your nose. Feel your chest fall. Breathe in. Breathe out. And all is coming. I encourage you to stay in final Savasana for at least a minute longer. 5 minutes if you have it, 10, 15, 20 minutes if you have it, right? Take your time. When you do get up slowly and mindfully. Take your time sitting up for a while before you stand up, because we have been on the floor for a while, right? Especially if you have low blood pressure, you just want to take your time slowly getting vertical. Make sure that you're drinking lots of water this evening. Surrounding yourself with good people, which sometimes means simply surrounding yourself with just yourself. Tell yourself good thoughts.
remember some fun stories, maybe phone an old friend. I hope to see you all soon. Thanks, y'all.